Hey, what's up, everyone? Take it or delete it. Today, we're going to talk about connection and keeping that and maintaining that connection. If you miss anything, just walk yourself all the way down to the video and I wrote a list of things that will probably help you. I know they've helped me and they're still helping me because I'm still trying to figure this stuff out. Okay. First, you need to understand why the connection fades. Sometimes you stop, you know, actively discovering the person because now you feel like you already know them. It's to you it's redundant. It's like going to work every day. Now you're no longer being challenged. You're a robot now when it comes to the person that you're with. And what time they're gonna call, what they're gonna ask, how they're gonna behave. So those things put you in a certain place. It's not exciting anymore. Okay. Going that leads to my second, you begin to assume and observe. Because observing means that you already know what's coming. Like, your girl calls you at 9:30 or your man calls you at 9:30, 10 o'clock every day in the morning. You already know it's coming, so you're already mentally prepared. Okay, that person's gonna call me at this time. You switch from having a relationship, from being in the relationship to managing it. Again, that goes with, all right, my husband or my wife gonna be home. They're expecting this for dinner. Like you're managing your day now. It's no longer spontaneous. Which I get it now. You're in an adult relationship, or now you're more in a commitment. You might have kids or family, but we're talking about keeping that connection, keeping that relationship between you and your spouse, or you and your spouse, you and the person that you're with, keeping that keeping that exciting, keeping it where it's at. Sometimes we have to go back to recreating that same energy that we had in the beginning. Obviously, you've heard that many times. You need to go back to dating. You need to go back to the things that you did before. Think about those things. Listen back to them. You know, Back then you have to think about, was I curious? Obviously you were, because you didn't know the person. Now you're more calculating. Like I said, managing. It happens. It happens. But you have to get your mindset back to that person that you were. You know, Track your inner distance. You know, by you can write in a journal every day. The things that you've done that day, and think about those things when you read them over. Okay, you're gonna see that you've been doing the same thing every day, literally the same thing over and over. Surprise yourself. Do something different. Just surprise yourself. Say, I normally wouldn't do this. The person that I'm with might suspect that I'm cheating or dealing with somebody else, but just do it. You know, it might spark something. It might, even if it sparks an argument. Crazy to say, but that person's gonna find out. That nothing really happened. Nothing's really going on. You're just trying to love the person in a different way, trying to ignite something. Um, Always ask yourself, am I open right now in the present? Am I closed off? Closed off meaning, I'm good. You know, um, Psychologically, I know I do it. You tell yourself, by distancing yourself, you tell yourself, and the person knows I'm not doing nothing. The person knows I'm good, or the person knows I'm all right. They know where I'm at. Well, sometimes not enough. Sometimes the person wants to talk to you. Sometimes you have to remove yourself and think about what the person wants, not what you totally, you're good with. Okay. Decide to see your relationship fresh. Not old. Like, oh, okay, we've been here before. No, see the person as something new. Buy the person a new outfit, a new watch, a new perfume, new cologne. Try something new that it's gonna spark things up or change things up. respond instead of react, you know. And when I say respond, is like, try to take that memory bank out your head with the one that's managing everything, and think maybe the person might say something different. If they do great, that's something that can spark different kind of conversation. All right. And consider this, you know staying close, there's nothing wrong with being vulnerable. Okay. Anyway, sometimes we're afraid of losing a connection with other people. I get that. Sometimes we're not. Sometimes we're way too comfortable. But real healing is learning. Real healing is learning how to stay connected, not only to them, but to yourself. You know, sometimes you can let go and keep a little bit of yourself. Understand that it's possible. And it is only having a relationship that's important, or having that connection with somebody else. The biggest connection you can have is with yourself. If you have a connection with yourself, guess what? You figure all this stuff out. But if you're already losing connection with somebody else, your family members, cousins, whatever it is, if you're losing that connection, you've already lost that connection with who you are. So reconnect with yourself. Figure that out. Build that relationship with you, so you can know how to build that relationship with others. Anyway, have a blessed day, y'all. Hope y'all enjoyed.